Well, all right, guys, ready for the next live? My name is Zeno Lancaster. I'm the owner of Lancaster Law Firm here headquartered in Asheville, North Carolina. We've got 3 offices, one here, one in Hendersonville, and opening in Canton this month. So hope to have a grand opening, get some of you guys by to see it, announce the staff out there. I'll be out there some too. Really looking forward to that. I was going to talk about contract strategy today, and you're just going to have to wait till next week because Brad McLean just posted in the group, can please someone educate folks on the difference between manufactured homes, modular homes, and conventional built homes. And that is a better topic. He's right. We need to talk. So guys, at my team, we've got 4 attorneys, lots of great staff, and if you've got a mobile home transaction, it needs to be in my office. There are people that do not understand this, even in the legal world. They're not keeping up with it. I've got lots to talk about today. So I hope you'll watch this live if you're at all interested in hearing about the current pitfalls and difficulties and hurdles, all of which are jumpable in the manufactured home closing industry, and what's the difference between modular and all of that. We're here to help lenders and realtors understand this process, not get hung up, not mislead their clients accidentally, manage expectations, which is so important in real estate closings, as you all know. So why is this important? Because a lot of you, with respect, are getting it wrong, as Brad pointed out. And we need to get it cleared up, and it's not that difficult, guys, if you can get it cleared up. So number one, if you have questions about this, case by case, transaction by transaction, reach out to your attorney. And guys, if you're using a law office that is not great on getting you answers pre-contract, consider switching. We're here to support you guys. You guys support us by sending us closing referrals. If you're not getting that kind of support on your contract negotiation, and being able to compete with a team helping you to compete, you have the wrong team members on your squad. Just my 2 cents, guys. So again, what's the difference between manufactured homes, modular, and conventional, quote unquote, stick-built homes, that sort of thing? Manufactured homes, that's another word for mobile home, which is another word for trailer. It's used to, when I was growing up, they were all called trailer parks, that sort of thing. A manufactured home, they're getting better and better every day. They make great ones, and so they're selling them still, and we do closings on them every month. Manufactured homes are considered personal property the moment they're built, okay? Personal property is like your wallet or your car. The car is, I guess, a better example because we're going to talk about that. If you go out and buy Honda Civic, that has the same property status as a manufactured home the moment it's built. It's not real estate. You guys are going to Google it and argue with me, and I welcome that in the comments, but that's the way it is, okay? For it to become real estate, there are things that have to happen under the statute. There's Daisy, so she'll be joining us in this video. A couple of things. One, it has to be canceled. There are 2 different ways this can happen. One is that it has to be canceled with the DMV. In other words, the DMV issued a red DMV title, just like you're used to with your car. That is taken along with an affidavit signed by the owner to the DMV. They take both from you. They hand you a page that says, this has been canceled to real estate. It's no longer personal property. We consider it attached to the property and canceled to real estate. If that hasn't happened, the odds are that your manufactured home, your mobile home, your trailer is not canceled to real estate. I don't care what's been done underneath it. I don't care whether you see wheels or not. I don't care what you've Googled. That's the law, okay? And if you're telling your clients otherwise, be very careful with that because that is absolutely legal advice, and some of you are getting it wrong. But that's okay if it's not, or if you're not sure. Get your attorney involved. We can figure out, that's what we do, guys. Frankly, you're wasting your time with stuff that we're getting paid to do anyway, okay? So always ask your attorney, if you have a mobile home transaction, manufactured home transaction, first thing you need to do is let the attorneys know and make sure they get to work on making sure that's all figured out early on because the DMV moves very slowly, okay? if either of those things, if it has been canceled to real estate and we can confirm that, we're good to go. We're good to proceed to closing. Another way that we can close those is if your seller has the DMV, the red title in hand. Well, that's great. We know that it's not real estate. We know that it's personal property because that title is showing that it's personal property, just like a car. What we can do at closing is the seller sign that over to the buyer. Depending on whether the buyer has a cash deal or loan closing, we can then get that all canceled to real estate for them. We'll walk them through that, okay? If it's a cash buyer and they don't want to cancel it to real estate, perhaps they want to buy the real estate and the manufactured home and they want to be able to sell the manufactured home, haul it off somewhere else, we can just sign that over just like you would a car. They'll take that DMV title to the DMV. They'll get their own red title for that, just like the car. Then they can sell that and keep the real estate, okay? If it's a loan closing, the lenders will put a deed of trust on the property. A deed of trust is a mortgage in North Carolina. A mortgage only secures real estate. It does not secure personal property, okay? There are other financing instruments you file to secure personal property. What that means is if you file a mortgage on a piece of property that does not have the manufactured home canceled to real estate, your mortgage is only secured by the land, the dirt, because a mortgage can't secure personal property. So that's very important for lenders to know too. We just had a closing where, frankly, the lender could not wrap their mind around that. I'm just going to be real. And they got very frustrated. But what we have an obligation to make sure that lender's lien is on the house and the land, not just the land, obviously. And they were arguing with me about that. They were Googling things. And I wasn't able to close the transaction for them. And as far as I understand, it's still pending because they went somewhere else and called me wrong. And I think that the new attorney's telling them the same thing. So this is very important to get done correctly. Modular homes, you can consider modular homes, if you get them correctly defined as modular home, the same as conventional stick built as far as how we close them and title to those. It's very confusing because a modular home is brought out, and someone can comment about how it's built because that's not my expertise, but my understanding is they're brought out in pieces just like the manufactured homes are, which is confusing, but those are not considered in the great state of North Carolina as manufactured homes, and the title to those are not personal property, they're real estate. And so that can be confusing. There is a difference though, guys, a big difference. One is real estate, one is personal property to start with. If you have trouble figuring out which is which, again, I hope you'll ask your attorneys and not just make that distinction on your own. It's your liability, guys, whether you want to do that or not. But make sure you're educated pretty well on them. A modular or conventional stick-built home is a closing as usual as far as that goes. The manufactured homes, the mobile homes, the trailers, that's where things get much more difficult, okay? Right now, the DMV got hacked. If those of you aren't aware of this, Google it. North Carolina's DMV got hacked, and their process has been down for months. And what that means is we used to be able to reach out to the DMV with the make, model, and serial number. On any of my closings involving manufactured homes, you're going to see one of my staff say, hey guys, we need the make, model, and serial number. Well, I don't want to go out there and get it. Tough noogies. Go earn that commission. Go out there and get me the make, model, and serial number. It'll take you an hour, you know. We have to have it because the only entity that can confirm for me whether that's been canceled to real estate or it remains personal property is the DMV. They're the only ones assigned to grant title to these things, okay? It's the DMV. We have to check with them. We send them the make, model, and serial number. They send me a sort of a screenshot and a notice back that says, this is what's going on with it. It's still personal property. It's still personal property, and guess what? Your seller doesn't own it. Some other person has it. It's still personal property, and it has 3 liens on it. Or it's canceled to real estate. The other option, which is great, or the other option will say something like no file on this property. And guys, I'm just telling you, this is complicated, and you're going to hear it. Sometimes when manufactured homes are brought out to the property by the dealers, just like a car dealer, they haul it out there for you. There's something called a certificate of origin. That is a little document. It's a little smaller, and it's green or blue. I haven't seen one in a while. And it tells me that Clayton Homes or whoever built the home, that's where it comes from. It has a HUD number on there. And as long as you have that in hand, I know this is confusing. And you you attach it to real estate. There's a few things we have to jump through there. And you file an affidavit saying that it's real estate because if you don't take that little certificate of origin to the DMV, that's what you take to the DMV to get a personal property title issued. If you have it in hand, then that never happened. So as long as you have it in hand and we file the correct affidavit, or it's been filed, we can confirm that as real estate. Okay? So that's the other way to confirm it as real estate. The DMV got hacked, their system is down. I can't get that screenshot telling me from the DMV that it's been canceled to real estate, it's not been canceled to real estate, it's not been canceled to real estate and someone else owns it, or there are liens or whatever, or that they have no file because the certificate of origin was never filed, which is a good thing. That's a good thing because then we do have to have a declaration of intent to affix or an affixation affidavit. One says, I promise I'll affix it to the property, and has some more information that they'll spell out in there. One says, I have affixed it to the property. Under North Carolina law, if we have one of those two affidavits and we can confirm that it's canceled to real estate in one of those other ways, then it's canceled to real estate. But Zeno, it's underpinned, it's on a permanent foundation, blah, blah, blah. I get it. It's taxed by the tax department. We get that all the time. Tax department taxes all sorts of things, guys, and sometimes they get it wrong. Okay, good for them. They're getting paid. They're the government. If it's taxed by the tax department, that's evidence of, but not conclusive that it's been canceled to real estate. Okay, I've seen it before. I see it all the time, frankly. Also, guys, not to throw dirt. Attorneys do this all the time on manufactured home closings. I guess they just assume that their insurance will pay for it if it's ever a problem. It is what it is there. The reason I know that is we see it all the time and have to correct it for people. We have to correct it for lenders. We have to correct it for title insurance companies who then maybe write off that attorney from their approved attorney list because they're on the line to insure it when it goes south. Make sure you have someone that's doing it the correct way, please. It makes life easier on everyone, and it can eventually burn your client if you're not, okay? And they're going to ask you why you are working with someone that doesn't pay attention to that sort of thing. So I hope this helps, guys. Please post your comments and questions about manufactured homes in the comments below. If you think I'm wrong about anything, please post it. I'd love to hear that. If you have anything to add, please post it. Love to discuss that with you guys. Again, covered the differences of manufactured homes, modulars, conventional stick builts. And also, lastly, the DMV is still down. If you have a manufactured home closing, it's possible we can still close it, possible we can close it quickly. But guys, you might hear from us depending on all those factors I mentioned, and you can see how complicated it is that we have to wait. I've got 2 or 3 closings right now. We're having to wait on the DMV to get back up and running. We don't have a declaration of intent to affix filed. Nobody did it like they should have in the past. And now that the DMV's down, this is the result. If they had done it correctly on the front end, we could close these. They're not able to get them closed at my office or elsewhere because the DMV's down, and until they're back up and running, title insurance won't issue a commitment on those. So even if I were to say it's okay, title insurance won't issue a commitment, which if you've got a loan closing, forget about it. The lender's not going to accept that. So, but we can check for you. Don't let that, if you've got a manufactured home closing coming up, send it over to us. We'll check all that for you. It's very likely we can close it. And there are some things that right now that the title insurance companies are offering to get these closed. Usually if we can find a declaration of intent to affix or an affixation affidavit on record, they will assume it's done correctly and ensure that, allowing us to close. let's see. And we can look into that for you. So there is a workaround, and I'm hoping the workaround will expand as the DMV takes longer and longer to get their system up and running. We can look into all of that for you. But yeah, send it over. We'd love to help. Guys, I go live weekly, usually at 9 a.m. Today had to be 10. I appreciate your patience on that. Post in the comments also new topics you would like to hear. I'd love to talk about contract strategy next week. But this one was just too good of a topic to pass up. And please connect with us on Instagram. I'm at flying_casual. At Lancaster Law Firm is our Instagram handle. And please follow us on Facebook. If you know anybody that would benefit from this Facebook group, please invite them in. We would love to have them. Throw on your calendar that we have these lives, guys. I'm here to help you guys be more competitive, understand and manage your clients' expectations better. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Have a great week.